Hello everybody, all my very dear audio friends around the world. Welcome back to my studio, Warsaw, Poland, to my humble YouTube channel. My name is Paul. Good to see you again. Guys, there's this company called Soundly. Not too many music producers, some even sound designers, don't know it or don't use it. It's actually a sample library with a cool desktop app so that it makes any search and import to your timeline easy. But not only that, actually Soundly released some free plugins. Recently they released something called Shape It. It's a 10-band EQ, simply, a surgical, a modern one, and before that there was a plugin called Place It, which does also some nice stuff that I have just tweaked yesterday. And today I'd like to present both plugins to you because I believe they are kind of hidden gems out there, and they are absolutely free. Let's go! Of course, if you like my channel, my studio and my videos, please consider subscribing somewhere here in the corner, getting notified, liking this vid and commenting on it down below, because as always I'm interested in your opinion on things. Let's go now. Okay. I got it all on my timeline. The first one is Shape It. I took a track from Artlist, simply, which is my library for music that you hear in the background sometimes. I mean, every time I do the intro or outro, there's also some of my own music there. Anyway, this is Shape It, a very clean, modern interface. And as I told you, it offers 10 bands of EQing. We're just gonna tweak them so that you can see how it works. And mainly that's it, guys. I showed you almost everything that's here, and it works just very efficient. There's also input and output gain control. There is a mix. You can blend the original signal with the EQ. You're gonna get some also crazy presets like sound design presets, making harmonic content, like really musically harmonic, as you can see. Some speaker simulations and some other stuff. And well, guys, the point is it's free. It works very efficient. It's got everything it should have. So if you, for any reason, can't afford, or just don't want to buy any commercial product, Shape It plays in the same league as some of the best EQs, surgical EQs out there. I can name Isotope, Ozone-free mastering EQ, that's for sure. TDR Nova, Tokyo Dome Records Nova, quite an old one, but an amazing one. And also maybe Melda M Equalizer, which is also free and also offers some great stuff there. It's very easy to operate. You got full kind of manual, like shortcuts that you're gonna need. They are displayed here, and it sounds simply very good. It's a surgical clean digital EQ that comes for free. I like it, and probably for some quick stuff I'm even gonna leave it installed, because sometimes I notice that making some very quick pre-mix moves, it's even faster than my Kerhoff, I believe. So I'm not gonna uninstall it after the review. And the second one, my friends, this one is my favorite one from this duo, because it's called Place It, and it places your sound source in an acoustically probable space in two stages. The first stage is choosing a speaker that you want to emulate, which is also cool for translation, for example, of your mix. And the second thing is putting it into acoustic space using some convolution that's got only reverb length parameter and mix parameter here. I took a piece of a poem from freesound.org by an author called QBODUP, a poem about audiophile formats. And yes, it's licensed under Creative Commons. And I have to mention the author and the source, so I'm doing this. And you're gonna listen to a piece of this crazy poem, and we're gonna try to place it, as Soundly says. Let's go.
Audiophile formats can be confusing at first. I hope to change this with this tiny verse. FLAC is lossless, FLAC does compress. With FLAC support there is no mess. AIF and VAV are too heavy to raise. Use FLAC to save lots of server space. Vorbis is small and its use is free. EGG and MP3 are tied to a patent tree. FLAC and Vorbis are the best sounding kin. Leave restrictions behind and install a plugin.
A funny poem, guys. Anyway, not only EQ, some distortion is there to emulate this feature of some speakers. And wow, this is cool. Let's take it the radio.
Audiophile formats can be confusing at first. I hope to change this with this tiny verse. FLAC is lossless, FLAC does compress. With FLAC support there is no mess. AIF and VAV are too heavy to raise. Use FLAC to save lots of server space. Vorbis is small and its use is free. EGG and MP3.
This is cool, and there's a lot of it actually, guys. Airport.
Audiophile formats can be confusing at first. I hope to change this with this tiny verse. FLAC is lossless, FLAC does compress. With FLAC support there is no mess. AIF and VAV are too heavy to raise. Use FLAC to save lots of
Very well taken convolutions, first of all. Very probable, very natural. They remind me of my multiverb in the best sense, and that's what I usually do. I take some EQ, then I take some distortion, then I take my multiverb. This is way easier. So when you're creating a fast premix, or you do, I don't know, a TV ad and you need to treat your dialogue or whatever, it's very easy. It's there in seconds, actually. And let's maybe now switch to something more crazy. We're gonna try to create a stadium where during Euro 2024, I'm watching the games all the time. So let's take announcement speaker and a stadium. There's no stadium. Let's make it airport.
Audiophile formats can be confusing at first. Audiophile formats can be confusing at first. I hope to change this with this tiny verse. FLAC is lossless, FLAC does compress. With the FLAC support there is no mess. AIF and VAV are too heavy to raise. Use FLAC to save lots of server space. Vorbis is small and its use is free. EGG and MP3 are tied to a patent.
Actually, it's a very good, quick convolution reverb. And all these sound really very good. Let's take megaphone. And again, let's take public place airport.
Audiophile formats can be confusing at first. I hope to change this with this tiny verse.
Cool. And now let's maybe take it to the boombox. And let's take it to the living room with some shorter reverberation. And
audiophile formats can be confusing at first.
And there's also something called wall. So you can filter this sound out so that it comes from your neighbor.
Can be confusing at first. I hope to change this with this tiny verse. FLAC is lossless, FLAC does compress. With FLAC support there is no mess. AIF and VAV are too heavy to raise.
It's exactly like someone's if it was placed lower, I would not recognize it from sometimes the sounds I'm getting from the first floor, where's our kitchen, studio, and lounge right now. Of course, we did acoustic ceiling recently, but before that, it's absolutely same. If I didn't know, if I close my eyes and place the speaker lower, I wouldn't tell you whether this is really something from the room next to this or a plugin, which is really, really cool. I'm not gonna tweak it too much, but seriously, this thing offers some great speaker emulations first and some great sounding convolutions second, with only two parameters, length and mix. You've got only mix for the speaker, and also you've got this wall thing here. What else do you need to create probable placement of your sound source when you need it, whether it's your music or any multimedia, your sound designing? And guys, this is actually it. Very simple, very efficient. I really, really enjoy them both, and I really like them both. I wasn't paid a penny to make this review. I've got nothing from this review. I just really wanted to do this so that you know there are two cool free things out there from this Norwegian company called Soundly. Let's sum the things up now. This is what I call a real gem. It's extremely easy to use and it sounds really great. It's based on a very simple concept, but this concept simply works. And instead of loading, for example, any convolution reverbs, any distortion, any EQ, distortions, any EQs, you have a chance to simply find it there in this very plugin, which is kind of crazy to think it's just for free. So Soundly, good job, and I couldn't recommend these plugins more. They are not marketed too much, as I said, and well, I would still promote them a bit because probably they are the gate to the Soundly subscription for their libraries, and it's a very good entry point, very inviting to consider the sound libraries services from Soundly. So hey Soundly, maybe let's push these freebies a bit more. They're worth it. That's it for today, guys. I hope you liked it, and I hope to hear from you very, very soon. Take care. Bye.